The Toolbox Murders 1978 horror film, and the shocking serial killer cases surrounding it.
The following feature has been rated R by the Motion Picture Association of America.
Hey, Lauren, did you hear what happened last night? It was in the apartment right above us. My dad almost saw the guy.
Something terrible happens and really stops everything for you.
Anything strange ever happen in here?
Strange? Oh, my. Oh.
My neighborhood is the target of some maniac, and my sister's been kidnapped.
Look, Joey, we got 4 violent, bloody murders and a possible kidnapping. I mean, it's possible, but it doesn't make sense.
You got her with a nail gun.
I mean, we got 3 apartments, 1 forced entry.
What if he didn't con his way in? What if he didn't have to?
The Bible says, if one of thy members offend thee, cut it off. Cut it off!
He killed her with a drill.
So I cut him. I did it. I cut all the evil out.
Yes, I've been away too long. Carolina in the morning. Don't you know
I gotta protect my family.
Yes, I'll be there in the morning. Lord, you know I'm coming home.
I never want to cause suffering.
The Toolbox Murders 1978 horror film, directed by Dennis Donnelly, produced by Tony Didio, from a screenplay written by Neva Frieden, Robert Easter, and Ann Kinberg, starring Cameron Mitchell, a well-known actor of stage and screen, having appeared in dozens of films and TV shows throughout his career. Pamela Ferdin, a 1960s and 70s actress known for such films as The Beguiled and Charlotte's Web, and Wesley Ure, whose biggest claim to fame was co-star in the beloved Saturday morning show Land of the Lost from 1974 to 1976. The plot for this early slasher film is simple enough. A series of violent and gruesome murders occur within a Los Angeles apartment complex by a ski-masked killer using common tools from a toolbox. A teenage girl is soon kidnapped and held by the murderer. The movie was critically bashed as, quote, degenerate, unmotivated, and pornographic trash, unquote, and was banned in the United Kingdom for a few years during the infamous video nasties uproar in the early 1980s. Despite the banning and bad critical reception, the $165,000 budget film managed to rack up over $500,000 during its first-year theatrical run in 1978. But perhaps the most controversial thing about the Toolbox Murders was that it was supposedly based upon horrifying real events. But was it the other way around? According to Wikipedia, development for the Toolbox Murders began in 1977, when Los Angeles producer Tony Didio wanted to make a low-budget horror film after noticing a successful second release of Tobe Hooper's landmark horror film, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. After a conversation with the film's distributors, Didio decided that he would release his own low-budget horror film. According to journalist Linda Gross, the screenplay was loosely based on a string of serial killings in Minnesota committed by a man who attacked women using various hand tools. The horrifying true case of the Toolbox Killers. During a nightmarish 5-month period in 1979, serial killers and rapists Lawrence Sigmund Bittaker and Roy Lewis Norris committed the kidnapping, rape, torture, and murder of 5 teenage girls in Southern California. They were known as the Toolbox Killers because the majority of instruments used to torture and murder their victims, such as pliers, ice picks, and sledgehammers, were items normally stored inside a household toolbox. Lawrence Bittaker was sentenced to death for the 5 murders on March 24, 1981, but died of natural causes while incarcerated on death row at San Quentin's state prison. He was described by FBI Special Agent John Edward Douglas as the most disturbing individual for whom he has ever created a criminal profile. Norris accepted a plea bargain where he agreed to testify against Bittaker and was sentenced to life imprisonment on May 7, 1980, with possibility of parole after serving 30 years. He died of natural causes at the California Medical Facility in February of 2020. Bittaker and Norris killed their first victim, 16-year-old Lucinda Lynn Schaefer, on June 24, 1979. The serial killers claimed 4 more lives before police arrested them during the month of November 1979. They were convicted of all the murders and imprisoned, where both died years later while incarcerated. The Toolbox Murders producer, Tony Didio, said that his inspiration for the film came from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The fact that production on the film began in 1977 and the film was made and released in 1978 makes it obvious that the Toolbox Murders was not based upon the horrific Toolbox Killers murders, which did not occur until 1979. However, there was another serial killer case involving one Harvey Louis Carignan, who killed 3 women over a multi-year period and was finally arrested on September 24, 1974. He was charged with attempted murder and aggravated sodomy. During his incarceration, he was found guilty of 2 more murders and received a life sentence. Apparently, the weapon used to kill these women was a common hammer. This could very well be the case that journalist Linda Gross said the Toolbox Murders was based upon, but to date, no definite conclusions have been made for this connection. The Toolbox Murders is currently on Tubi and can be watched on other platforms. Thanks for watching. As always, please like and subscribe.